Narashidra Raha Shidro. Simply translated into English, that simply means now is the time, teach the whole world, teach them. So, this is Harmony speaking, and it is 7/22/2020 at 2:37 a.m. in the morning. And I want to share with you today what I find very fascinating. I have to just say, obviously it's a Mandela effect video in some respects. And on my old Earth, we had what was called the Mandela equation. And if you, it might be hard to see, here's Mandela, it has two L's. And what's interesting is we are experiencing the Mandela effect, which I find fascinating. Which also is interesting is this Mandela equation existed on my old Earth as the foundation of chaos theory, and it is the most advanced mathematical logarithm known to mankind. It describes the exact moment that um, matter becomes chaos. What I find interesting is I'm not able to find this theory or this equation in this reality. I did talk about it in a paper that I got around publishing back in 1999. Unfortunately, I didn't write down the equation because it's just so well known. I was talking about the graph. And this is the exact when you have all these anybody who's taken math, you have an equation you can turn to the graph. And so outlined in the black line is the exact graph of the Mandela equation, which describes the exact moment that that matter becomes chaos. And for all theoretical mathematicians and theoretical physicists out there, you could actually reverse engineer this logarithm and come up with the equation. So and especially today, you can throw in a quantum computer and you can reverse this equation very quickly and have it again. Um, just to show you that a little bit of evidence is, this is my copyright back in, what was that, January 21st, 1999. And this is Library of Congress and all this stuff. So this theory has been copywritten way back then. Um, so I wonder if, the Mandela equation doesn't exist here, and I just find it fascinating. But just to regress a little bit, everything that you can experience in this reality, according to math and science and physics and all those people, everyone is in agreement that there are four forces in the universe represented by these black dots. We have the strong nuclear force, the weak nuclear force, the electromagnetic force, and gravity. Of course, a lot of people want to argue about gravity. So this is, in essence, the original design of the universe, because just like this equation describes the exact moment that matter becomes chaos, it also describes the exact moment that chaos becomes matter. So taking a reverse order and looking at it with a different perspective, we have, um, people have heard of the Big Bang, collapse of the universe, et cetera, et cetera. So essentially what happened is you can, see this original Mandela equation in the background. You had the four forces that we talked about. And basically what happened is the universe, you see the arrows collapsed and collapsed into here. This moved over to here, this moved to there, and this moved to here, this moved in there. And basically the universe became this dotted line right here with the other dotted line. So the universe was collapsed, which created what, people have labeled the Big Bang. You can also get into biblical connotations of this as well, but we won't go there right now. Um, so then as the universe collapsed, then it began to expand. And so this is the first phase of the universe expanding. Here's your four forces. And if you noticed before, there was essentially three sections. So here you see the birth of the three different realities, or as physicists, they want to talk about their quantum theory, which is, everything that's large. And excuse me, I'm getting it backwards. So anyway, let me just move on to my train of thought here. And so basically, the universe begins to expand, and for the first time, we have what I have put in this dotted line here, and this is actually where space and time began. Physicists can find the exact moment of creation down to I think it's point negative 37 second, but they can't find the exact moment when time began. The reason is because time existed inside this diamond. In the original universe, time didn't exist. So as the universe began to expand, that is when time began. And everything outside of space and time is what you know as the physical universe, which you have general relativity, which is everything large, which can be represented by this circle. You have quantum physics that can be represented by this circle. And then we have what physicists don't want to talk about, the third invisible realm. So let's move on. I apologize. This is just a really quick high level overview of what's going on. At the end of the video, I'll show you the book if you want to read more. So basically, the universe began to continue to expand to what the universe is today. Again, we have the electromagnetic force here, gravity, the strong nuclear force, and the weak nuclear force. We also have in this circle here represented this quantum physics. And over here we have general relativity, which is everything large. What's missing here is the center, which is the third field of physics. And this is what's baffled, to our mathematicians today and our physicists because they don't understand that there actually is a third field of physics. So moving on, did I already do this one? Yeah, I did that one. And I did that one, sorry. So let's move to this one. So moving since the universe collapsed, we had the Big Bang, moving, trillions of years, millenniums, blah blah blah, whatever, to present day time here on Earth in our reality in the 1900s, we have Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein lived in a very limited universe. He said, I only believe what I essentially can see. So he lived within a four-dimensional universe. So if you were to actually collapse what I showed you earlier, the three universes into one, you still have, in Einstein's universe, the electromagnetic represented here, and then you have gravity, the weak nuclear force here, the strong nuclear force, and to him, what we call space and time, he labeled height, that he called this time, and then we have depth and width. So he lived in a very limited universe, which completely ignored that there's two field of physics and ignored the third universe, which I'll just call the unknown or invisible universe. So then, moving forward, Einstein died. Other physicists came along, and they said, you know what, the universe it has things we can't see. And they began to expand their thought process, gets outside the box. They got close, but they came up with this thing called M theory. So what M theory basically states is, well, acknowledge that there's this field of general relativity, because we know it exists. We know the quantum field exists, and we're going to say there is this woo 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 mysterious 11th dimension that exists here. And what they want to say is, see, the whole point of all these theories is they're trying to find the origin of the universe. And so now they say there's this mysterious 11th dimension where, because, oh, I forgot to mention, they can't find the origin point of the four forces. There's the strong nuclear force, weak nuclear force, electromagnetic gravity. We know it exists, but they can't find the origin point anywhere in the universe. So now they came up with this brilliant theory that there's this mysterious 11th dimension that's really tiny and coupled up, and they actually emitted unbelievably that this 11th dimension exists outside of our physical universe, and this mysterious 11th dimension is the origin point of everything, and it comes through this mystical point and permeates all through reality, and boom, they're like, oh, that explains everything. Well, they got close. They got close, but the truth is, this is the true universe where you have three field of physics. You have quantum, general relativity, and there's a third field of physics, the spiritual, the unknown, the mystics, the religions. Everybody talks about this. It's something that simply is not perceived by human perception. Kind of like a radio station. You have AM and you have FM. If all you have is a receiver that receives FM, that's all you're going to get. You're never going to get the AM and vice versa. So the thing is, we just don't, I think we do, but they're hiding it from you. But there is simply a third field of physics in a nutshell. So let's, let me see here. So if you would like to learn more about this, as I said, my paper is written 1995, and with permission, oh, I thought this was going to be a stupid shortcut. Oh, all right, let's go here. So, with permission, recently I gave Stasha Erickson permission to publish my paper. It's 70 pages in the Mandela effect. All you have to do is go to Google, type in the Mandela effect book, and it's actually the #1 seller. So it comes up first. Beginning around chapter 7 is my theory. It's 70 pages where I go into this and other details and other theories. It's truly fascinating. You might want to give it a read. So I hope you enjoyed this short presentation. Until next time, everybody, as I say, as the sun sets and the sun rises, simply come to that peaceful place, fill yourself with a void of just nothingness, and fill that void with pure, true source, God, greater energy. Just feel it flow through the top of the head, all through the body, all through the toes, and to the dirt beneath your feet. Feel this beautiful energy, and then let it fill up like a bubble. And then, and as I always say, I call it the love bomb. And then just explode this beautiful energy of love, joy, peace, unconditional love all throughout this reality. And that is how each and every one has, is, will, and continue to change this reality. And I leave you with this um, blueprint of reality. So this is actually the correct version of our reality as we speak at this moment. Until next time, everybody, God bless, peace, and be well.